All right, guys, welcome back to the DC show. In today's video, we'll be discussing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, this is going to be an open spoiler discussion. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, get down to the theaters, check it out, and then come back and watch our video.
Stick around.
All right, so we both got a chance to check out Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, and what are your initial thoughts?
Like I said, I love the movie. It was a fun, action-packed Sam Raimi movie and lots of horror aspects, which they haven't really done too much in Marvel movies. Definitely. So that was kind of cool to see. It was fun. I took it for what it was, and yes, there's aspects that I would have loved to be a little bit more embellished and longer, but overall, it was a really good movie.
Yeah, and like I said in my direct out of the theater review, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I do think the movie will grow on me more as I watch it more. Actually, even just discussing the movie, there's little aspects of it that kind of spark my interest more, make me like it a little more. Yeah. But yeah, so we get some action right away, like you said.
Yeah.
Right away, America Chavez and Defender Strange are being chased by some sort of crazy ribbon monster. Yep. It doesn't go so well for them.
Yeah, Strange gets stabbed in the leg, and then that leads to his death, and he falls through the star portal with America, and they end up in our universe, 616.
Yeah. So shortly before he dies, he decides that the only way he could stop this issue is to steal the power from America Chavez, which kind of becomes a running theme through the movie. Mm-hmm. She doesn't quite know how to control her power, so other people are trying to take it from her for themselves.
Yeah, so when they end up in 616, there's actually another monster that's chasing America, and there's a lot of commotion going on outside of Christine Palmer's wedding, where Doctor Strange is at, and he goes outside and he goes to inspect it. He does some magic and reveals this big giant tentacled monster, and between him and Wong, they are able to defeat it. And
so they save America Chavez. They find out what's going on. They decide that they need to go protect her by taking her to Comertage, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Stephen Strange goes and talks to Wanda. Figures that she's the only one who might be able to identify these ribbons and who might be controlling these beasts. And it turns out that wasn't the best move.
Yeah, because he was talking to her, and then she all of a sudden says, "Oh, you could bring America to me." He's like, you didn't say her name, did you? Yeah.
It's kind of a typical thing they do in movies and
stuff,
but that's fine.
It was fun.
Yeah. So basically he gave away the location of America Chavez. Yeah. So that's it, man. She's coming for her.
She said to give her up peacefully, but they weren't going to. They were going to protect her, so
and Wanda,
tried to take her by force.
Wanda, of course, is driven by her desire to get her children back. Her hope is that if she finds another universe where her children exist, that she can take them basically as her own.
Yeah, this movie makes Disney Plus shows really need to be watched, especially WandaVision.
Yeah, that is interesting because I do remember hearing early on that they weren't going to be like required viewing, but they really are.
Yeah.
I think so far, maybe not Falcon Winter Soldier so much yet,
but it
will be. Yeah. It will be. So definitely, if there's any of the Marvel shows you haven't watched yet on Disney Plus, you should probably check them all out because they're going to definitely be all tied in with the greater MCU.
Especially Moon Knight, which we'll be discussing in our next video.
Yeah, that's true. Stick around for that one.
Yep.
So basically, and kind of America Chavez has to get them out of there, right? They're all about to be killed. Wanda's taking over Comertage, destroying everything, and America Chavez bust a portal open, and they end up flying through a whole bunch of crazy dimensions.
Yeah, Wanda almost gets her, and then she doesn't know how to use her powers, but she seems to be able to use them whenever she's like really scared.
Kind of as a reaction.
Yeah, so she is always taking them like pretty much right where they need to be, is what Strange figures out later on in the movie. So even though she can't control it, she really is controlling it to a certain extent.
Yeah. So they end up in what looks to be like a much more futuristic New York.
Yeah.
And we ended up running into some people a little bit later
in 838 universe.
Yeah. So it ends up being universe 838, and they end up meeting a group of people, the Illuminati.
Yeah.
This is kind of, name dropped in the trailer. So we knew that, and we kind of all had our speculations anyways. We finally got to meet the Illuminati.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just, even though it wasn't everyone I wanted to be in the Illuminati lineup,
I agree.
It was really cool that they have the Illuminati in the MCU as canon now.
Yeah.
And there's definitely potential for Illuminati in the future because that Illuminati was only from the 838 universe, not a multiversal Illuminati or anything like that. That because spoiler alert again, they all died.
Yeah.
Almost all died. Mordo's still alive to our knowledge.
That's true. That's true. He didn't really engage. Was kind of staying down.
But anyone that faced Wanda died.
Yeah. It didn't go well for them at all. So you want to talk about the members of the Illuminati and who you liked and didn't like?
Yeah. So I do like Black Bolt as a character. I know the Inhumans TV show is very poorly rated and it's
That's
not very good.
One of the few projects I haven't actually watched.
Yeah, you're probably fine.
It didn't look good.
It's not. Yeah, it's not great. But I do like the Inhuman characters in the comics, and Black Bolt has got some really strong powers. It just uses his voice. He can
level mountains.
Yeah. And so they show him destroying or murdering, killing Doctor Strange once he got in that universe of 838 because he was using the Darkhold and they couldn't trust him anymore to not turn evil. So
yeah, pretty much disintegrated him.
Even though they were able to defeat Thanos altogether, he destroyed him. He said, "I'm sorry," and just obliterated Strange. Yeah. So Black Bolt was really cool, and the way he died was intense. Like Wanda literally walked in and they were like said, "Oh, with his voice he could do it." She's like, "Oh, what mouth or whatever."
Yeah, like kind of Neo'd him.
Yeah, and he doesn't ever talk, so he should have just stayed quiet, but he freaked out and blew his own brains out.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense death. I mean, there was a few pretty intense deaths.
Yeah. So who you enjoying in the Illuminati?
You know, I'm all for the fanfare. A lot of people complain, "Oh, the movie was a fanfare movie." I think it was actually like it undersold the fanfare. I think there could have been a lot more fanfare, but we did get the one that a lot of people were hoping for, and that was the John Krasinski Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm. That was cool,
and that was pretty cool. Yeah. I really like John Krasinski as an actor and a director. Yeah. And so it was pretty cool to see him actually there. Like we've been talking about it since 2019 or something, when people started speculating how cool it would be to have him and Emily Blunt, playing Sue Storm as well. So we didn't get that, at least not yet.
You talk about his death?
Yeah, I mean, his death, she pretty much like unraveled him. Like
that was crazy.
Yeah,
he tried to engage her, and she just tore him apart.
Yeah,
that line though that she gave him about, do you have a wife or do you have a wife and kids, family? Yeah. Family. He's like, at least there's someone there to take care of him. Jeez,
yeah. So you and I had a conversation off camera about the battle between Wanda and the Illuminati. We both had slightly different opinions of how it went down. Essentially, the way it played out is they all kind of confronted her, not all of them, most of them confronted her at one time, and she pretty much obliterated them almost instantly, I mean, she did take out Black Bolt and Reed Richards almost immediately, and then she's left to face Peggy Carter and Maria Rambeau.
Captain
Marvel. And those two lasted a little bit longer.
They were working together a little bit more at first, like trying to attack her at the same time, which
from different angles and stuff.
What you were hoping they would have done. I think a lot of people were hoping they would have done, like, work together.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a much more unified strategy against Wanda, and show how powerful that the Illuminati could be when they're working together, but still have Wanda defeat them, which would really, I think, show how powerful Wanda is.
Yeah. So, and that's what when you told me that, my kind of thought was like, I think it made her look even more powerful because she just obliterated them all so quickly. Granted, she had the powers of the Scarlet Witch, flowing through her, but they weren't prepared for her at all. But I think she destroyed them.
I think for people like you and myself, that's maybe okay, but there's a lot of people that probably don't know a lot about the other characters and don't know, like Reed Richards didn't get a chance to show his powers hardly at all. Mm-hmm. He starts to stretch out for her and then he's dead. Yeah. So you don't see him do anything really.
His head exploded. That was crazy.
You do get kind of a cool scene with Charles Xavier going into Wanda's head and trying to free, essentially, Wanda's dream walking. That's what they call it, right? Yeah. She's dream walking into the 838 universe's Wanda. So she essentially, Charles Xavier tries to get in there and kind of free the correct universe version of Wanda.
The Scarlet Witch sneaks up on him.
Yeah, she takes him out. That was pretty brutal too. Yeah. And there was definitely some brutal deaths in this.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. And she takes out Captain Marvel.
Yeah. She got crushed by a statue. So, I mean, essentially we assume she's dead. We just see her arm hanging out, but I mean, compared to the other deaths.
Yeah, and Peggy Carter gets pretty much severed.
Yeah, right with the shield.
With her own shield right through the middle, And like you mentioned, Mordo is busy fighting Stephen Strange and isn't there for the battle, so he ends up surviving.
Yeah, Strange gets the upper hand and was able to get free so he can use his magic. And
he used some parkour moves and escaped the little canal they're in. Yeah, so, it's pretty crazy. They showed that their version of the Illuminati was basically who fought Thanos. It looked like they took him out on Titan, so he never even got all the stones.
No, they had like 4 of the 6. I think.
Yeah, they never dealt with the blip like they did in 616.
So Wanda was able to have her kids. They never showed Vision, but I mean, she has the same. They look like the same kids, essentially, at least the look of them.
Which is interesting. They don't really go into that.
Yeah.
I would guess that Vision would be the dad, but we don't even know. There was no Tony Stark present. We don't know if Vision was ever created.
And they definitely have hinted at they have Avengers because of the fact that they called Captain Carter the first Avenger, like they do Steve Rogers.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So do you think they have other Avengers in that universe, or will we ever see any of them, or probably not?
Possibly, and that's why I wish they would have elaborated on some stuff more. They didn't explain anything. We got these Ultron bots walking around the Illuminati. Yeah. Who created those? Was that Reed Richards? Was it Tony Stark?
Hank Pym?
Hank Pym
creates Ultron in the comics. So.
Yeah. They don't explain any of that. So it would have been nice to know what was going on there. There was a lot of the members of the Avengers in 616 that were not present in 838 versus Thanos.
Yeah.
So where were all of they? It's interesting.
It's interesting to think about how the different universes, how one little thing, a butterfly effect, will spread out and completely change.
Yeah.
That's why, I don't know what caused that New York to be so much more high tech. Maybe it's some of the Baxter Foundation stuff, and maybe we'll get that in the future in the 616 as the Fantastic Four are coming. I'm hoping that it's John Krasinski at least directing the movie and possibly starring in it as well would be awesome, because a lot of people really enjoyed him in that movie, and I did as well. So
yep.
So after Wanda battles with the Illuminati and Strange escapes from Mordo, he finds Christine Palmer and America Chavez, and they're going to look for the back door that Strange's universe had to the Book of Ashanti.
Yep.
And Wanda starts chasing after them. They try to their best to try to stop her, but she keeps blasting through all the doors. That's what she looked like, a zombie, creepy as.
Yeah, blasting through metal doors, and they try to.
She's so powerful.
To drown her because there's a tunnel underneath the river, right? And they try to drown her essentially, but she still catches up with them.
So they get to that world where the Book of Ashanti is. They use his watch as the key to get through, and Wanda follows him in, and she ends up burning some of the book and captures America, and she basically throws her through the portal back to the 616 universe and stops dreamwalking, and then that Wanda goes back to running for her kids.
Yep. So Steven and Christine end up escaping to the incursion world where we end up finding Sinister Strange.
Yeah.
And he has to battle him. He finds out that he has his
copy of the Darkhold.
Yeah, his own copy of the Darkhold. And the 616 Stephen Strange has to battle the Sinister Strange. It's kind of an interesting battle using music notes. I initially was like, this is so cheesy. I wasn't a fan of it. It's cool. It's a cool idea. It's different for sure. Yeah, it's unique. I thought maybe it could have been a move they did once or twice, but it ended up being a lot of the battle. Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of interesting that it was a cool concept. Yeah. I mean, Stephen Strange sees these music sheets flying around and he ends up removing notes off of them and shooting them at Sinister Strange. Yeah. And then Sinister Strange captures them on his bars and shoots it back as actually composed music at Stephen Strange. Yeah, that was a cool battle. And then, so our Strange ends up defeating the Sinister Strange and falls on a spiked gate, and we think he's maybe dead, but then he has a third eye that opens back up. Kind of a maybe foreshadowing. Yeah, that he's still alive. Yeah, yeah, or that and something maybe later on. Yeah. So now he has his own copy of the Darkhold, and it's kind of risky, but it's kind of his last ditch effort. He's got to do some dream walking of his own. Yeah, and the only Stephen Strange in the 616 is the Defender Strange that died in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, so that's when we start getting some real Sam Raimi, aspects. Zombie Strange. Zombie Strange, yeah, that was pretty cool. So he has to go and try to make it to Wundagore Mountain, right, and stop Wanda and save America Chavez. Yeah, so when he teleports there and he realizes he can't get across, and then all these demons are realizing that he's dreamwalking and tell him that's, forbidden and to stop. Well, he's dreamwalking in a corpse. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. That's the part of it, yeah. Yeah.
And then he controls them. He ends up using his powers to control them and turns them into like a version of the cloak and flies across.
In my opinion, that was one of the coolest parts of the movie.
Dope.
It's pretty crazy to have this crazy like demon ghost cloak thing helping him fly around. It's pretty neat.
So they land over there, and instead of defeating Wanda himself, he basically convinces America that she has the power to do it, and she basically jumps out and punches Wanda and almost knocks her into hell or something like that, like punches her through a portal.
Yeah.
And then I think she realizes that to defeat Wanda, she kind of has to give her what she wants, which is her kids. So she takes her to the 838 universe, and Wanda in that universe, along with her kids, see this witch version of their mom and like holding on to America. And she scares the crap out of the kids and realizes that she's never going to have kids in that universe. So it's just not meant to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, she took those kids, they're terrified of her, and that's not their mom, so.
And then the Wanda in that universe told her, that they will be loved, just to let her know like that it's okay. Like out there in the multiverse, her kids are safe.
Yeah. So they don't go into it, but were they actually in Westview? And if they were in Westview, was
that part of WandaVision they cut out?
Was Wanda possessing everyone? Like, that's great that she loves her kids, but is she currently like entrapping this whole town of people, I
don't know. It's a different universe. So probably not, but who knows?
Yeah. I guess if Vision's still around, then probably not, but it's interesting. Yeah. So basically she realizes that she just can't have her kids, and she realizes that she's really corrupted by the Darkhold, and the only way to stop the Scarlet Witch is to destroy Wendigo Mountain, which has the original text on the walls from the Darkhold and every copy of the Darkhold across all universes.
Yeah, they just disappear. And
so she collapses the whole temple there at Wendigo Mountain, and we see kind of a explosion of red magic afterwards.
We don't know if she escaped or if she got crushed. We don't know if she's alive or not.
Yeah,
I mean, most likely she is, but who knows? In the future, we might get a Wanda from a different universe. I mean, the other Wanda saw some crazy stuff going on, so she's definitely involved, and she has her kids. So I think they're leading to the Young Avengers at some point. So they're going to have the kids involved, I would imagine.
I would think so.
But Elizabeth Olsen, her acting in that movie was fantastic. I could easily see her being nominated for awards in the future.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people talking about the possibility of like best supporting actress. So yeah, we'll see. It's possible. She definitely did a great job.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so things kind of wrap up by them going back to Comertage afterwards.
Yep.
Got Wong, America Chavez, and Stephen Strange there. Yeah. Stephen Strange finally showing a little bit of respect to Sorcerer Supreme Wong and bowing for him.
Yep, and then America was there, training, trying to open up portals, learning some of the magic. So that's kind of cool. And then it cuts to Stephen walking down the street, sometime later, and he's in a normal clothes. He's not in his regular robe, and then all of a sudden, his third eye just pops open on his head, and that's kind of how the movie ends. Before the post-credit scenes. It's kind of crazy. So him using the Darkhold basically led to him being a little bit corrupted now, possibly too.
Yeah, definitely. So then we go shortly after that to a mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about that
a
little bit?
So the character is named Clea, walks up. She's the niece of Dormammu from the first Doctor Strange movie. Her mother is his twin sister, I believe. And so she's got some magic powers. She has a sword that she cuts open to the dark dimension and basically says he's causing an incursion and he needs to help fix it. So he's like, all right, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
He's game. So
pops open his third eye and gets his
switching.
Yep.
And that's where that ends.
Game to go. So so the dark dimension, which I had to look up a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's an actual just place that has other people that reside there. It's not just like, oh, there's Dormammu in the dark dimension.
Yeah.
There's other people there, and there's, a whole different world essentially.
That's crazy because there's tons of universes, as we saw earlier in the movie when they went through all the different dimensions. There was some craziness going on.
That was
there.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Got a lot of cool things, a paint dimension, an animated world we saw briefly.
Yeah, a little bit different than What If, but it was still
definitely different, a different art style.
Still pretty cool. Yeah. So there's so many universes out there, and it's going to be interesting to see where Marvel takes their universes now, and that they have so many options. They can basically do anything and like, oh yeah, that's somebody from another universe.
Yeah.
And then kill off characters like crazy even if they're from a certain universe.
Yeah. Poor Xavier, man. He's died, 3 times in the last movies he's been in?
Him, Vision. And so many people die over and over. Loki.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Pretty
and then
brutal.
the very end credit scene was kind of a silly one, but you know, it was a good comeback to showing Bruce Campbell from earlier in the movie as Pizza Papa.
Yeah.
So America earlier in the movie, you know, takes some pizza balls from him, you know, because in most universes food is free. So she just takes them and then he's like, you got to pay for that. And Strange puts a 3-week long spell on him where he just keeps punching himself
in the face, which is kind of funny. Kind of a callback to Evil Dead where
Part 2, yeah.
Ash's hands attacking him, you know, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And so it cuts to him 3 weeks later and his hand finally stops attacking him. It was pretty cool to see Bruce Campbell, you know, get a cameo in another Sam Raimi movie. So
and then he looks at the screen and he's like, it's over.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny.
Yeah. So yeah, so I mean that pretty much wrapped it up. Do you have any other thoughts and opinions on the movie? Things you wish they would have done a little bit different?
I just wish that I kind of wish, like you said, with the Illuminati, they would have done a little bit more, work together a little bit to make it just a more, you know, intense battle. I think that would have paid off. And yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I think another 20 to 30 minutes to really get into more details. How did Wanda possess these creatures? How did she know where they were? How did she get a hold of them in different dimensions? How did she know how to find America Chavez in each of these different dimensions? Yeah. What were those creatures?
Must have been something in the Darkhold that she read, but yeah.
Yeah. And then again, obviously the Illuminati stuff. We see Peggy Carter, but is it the Peggy Carter from the What If series?
Looks a lot like her.
It looks like her, but
who knows?
Like if it was, then wouldn't her being there possibly cause an incursion if she's not from that universe?
That's true. So probably not. I mean, there's probably multiple Captain Carters throughout the multiverse.
Yeah. So yeah, just things like that. I wish we would have got a little bit more explanation. Again, I wish the battle between the Illuminati and Wanda would have been a little longer. I would have liked to have seen maybe a few different people on the Illuminati. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Black Bolt. I think his costume in the show looked cheesy enough, and I think they kind of made it look worse even by putting the traditional like tuning fork on his forehead, you know.
But, you know, people like comic accurate. I mean, we want a comic accurate Wolverine at some point, at least the costume, and you know, in some fashion.
That's not a huge deal to me. I mean,
a lot of people want
if Disney could find a good way to do it, I'm cool with it. They've found a really good balance between comic accuracy and modernizing things enough to make them look functional. You know, if you put him in his straight up, you know, like yellow and blue spandex, I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But, you know, so Stephen Strange helped to create the Illuminati in 838. And now that 616 Stephen is aware of the Illuminati as a thing, do you think he'll create an Illuminati in our universe at some point?
Yeah, I think it's possible. If he does, though, who are we looking at? I mean, a lot of those characters he hasn't met yet in our version of the universe. We don't know if they exist or if they are the same person.
So, yeah, if it's a 616 only Illuminati, then there won't be a Tony Stark, so sadly. But, you know, there could be other variants that could be in there. So it'd be cool to see Namor, if they introduce him like they're supposed to, possibly in Black Panther. Yeah. And it's sad that Chadwick won't be there, but obviously Black Panther would be awesome to have on there.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully Xavier's around somewhere in the 616. I mean, that's, you know, me, I love the X-Men, so that's kind of the project I'm looking forward to the most. And I was really hoping this would be a kind of a leap pad into mutants, and it really wasn't. That was
there's one mutant.
Yeah, so when I say that,
maybe two if you count Wanda.
I wish there was more fanfare. Well, are they even calling her a mutant yet?
Who knows?
Like they're not really yet.
She wants to be a part of the X-Men.
Yeah, she does. You mean Elizabeth Olsen wants to?
Wanda.
Okay, Wanda wants to be part of it. But yeah, so I wish they would have had a little bit more fanfare. We didn't need to see Wolverine or like Deadpool or something, but I would have liked them to leave these little Easter eggs of like hinting towards how the X-Men are going to finally show up.
Yeah.
You know, it's been how long since Kevin Feige announced mutants come into the MCU, and like really, they didn't call Xavier a mutant.
No.
So you still don't have like, for the normal fan who doesn't read comics and know stuff, they don't know who Xavier is. They don't know anything about him being a mutant and leading the X-Men. So it's really just for those of us who do pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But I just want them to go in and do it.
Since they're having an incursion, there's a very good chance they're leading towards a Secret Wars type of movie.
Yeah.
So there's a very good chance that when those universes collide, that there could be X-Men or mutants that come over into this universe.
We said the same thing about Multiverse of Madness. You know, like, it's a Multiverse of Madness. We're going to have all these mutants and different things going on, and we didn't get any of it.
Yeah, well, they're planning out 10 years of movies. They're going to drag it out.
I don't want to wait 10 years.
They want their money.
I want my mutants, man. I want my Colossus. Oh, he's not here. Dang it. I want my Colossus right here. Right there. Yeah, I want my Colossus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no Deadpool.
Not yet.
No. We're hoping for at least the end credit scene Deadpool. I had heard from, one of the videos I watch on a regular basis that they had kind of 100% certainty that there was going to be no Deadpool. We were still hoping there was a little sneak peek of him in the end credit scene at least, but
yeah,
no go.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll get more multiversal stuff coming in. They're going to have to at some point. I mean, they're going to have to end it at some point, but it's still going to go for a little bit. I mean, there's an incursion coming, so there's going to be other craziness going on. All right, guys, did you get a chance to check out Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? If so, let us know in the comments what you thought.
And take a few moments out of your day to type in some topics you'd like us to discuss in future videos.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
And have a marvelous day.
No, we didn't.
You're like a sprinkler.
Or a dolphin.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yes. Doug's
fudge.
Dolphin and my sprinklers going into the outtakes.
Right. We might be using some of that stuff.
Oh. Yeah, but we didn't post it on Tuesday before the movie.
True. And we didn't,
set it as a thumbnail showing the Illuminati.
Bastards.
On Tuesday, 2 days before the movie comes out.
Spoil the movie for me. Bastards.
All right, guys.
All
right. Stick around. All right, guys. Do you get a chance? No, I kind of slurred a little bit there. Peter Piper picked a pack of peppered pickles
What?
with his
Good
parachute.
save.
With his parachute.
With his parachute.
We're gonna touch on America Chavez. We're not gonna touch
What?
We're
gonna
on the
touch
topic of America Chavez.
She's 16.
She doesn't want either of us to. Anyways,
Never mind. Cut that.
You better not put that.
Cut that.
All right, guys. So let us know if you got a chance to check out Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Post your
dick pics. Oh,
what? You can't put those in the comments. You got to DM those.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
his name is @Corey Soto at yahoo.org.
All right, guys. Did you get a chance to? No, I was too chill.
Too chill, bro.
All right, guys. Did you get a chance to check out Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Man, if you did, let us know. Let us know what you thought of it.
Nerd babies.
Oh man. Nerd babies.
Oh, he said it.
Oh. It's pure pressure. Be sure to put any questions. Nope. Don't.
Question everything.
Can you guys start asking us questions? Or let us know what you want us to talk about? Oh, so the cheese. Cheese specifically?
No, not cheese, just like a keyword or something. Just so that
If you got to the end of the video, leave the pregnant man emoji. Sorry.
Cheese emoji.
All right, guys. Did you get a chance? Nope. You didn't. I know you didn't.
I saw you. You didn't do it.
And put it down. Dang it. Don't put it down. That's not even a thing. You can't put it down.
I can put him down.
Not in. Put it in down.
Put him down.
You can do that. Need to put me down, apparently. I can't speak. I can't spec. I spec. All right, guys. Did you get a chance to check out Doctor Strange? Sorry. I saw you looking at me. You got excited.
Do it. Do it now.
For future videos.
Leave a pregnant cheese emoji.
And the pregnant lip biting emoji eating cheese.
Ooh.
Okay.
One more time.
Okay. You ready?
Yep. Are you ready?
No.